All right, guys, it's a beautiful day. It is Thanksgiving morning, and the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the cats are fighting, and we are out here working on a classic car. It doesn't get better than that. All right, so I'm going to get into this thing, see if we can get the carburetor off of it, clean it up, tear it down. Got a rebuild kit to put in it, slap it back on, and see what we can see if that makes a difference. See if we know kind of what we're doing. And there's only one way to find out. Let me get you in here with me. How does the new microphone sound so far? Better? Worse? Same? Don't know? Don't care? All right. Got it. All right. What's going on? Let's take the fuel line off. Let's take the choke cable off. We got vacuum advance to the distributor. We got the throttle linkage. And a couple of bolts. Seems simple enough. I think we got this. Oh yeah, right off the bat, grab the right size wrench. Oh man, it's going to be a good day. Thought I'd get out here for an hour or so before we go hang out with the family and eat way too much and I can't even move anymore, you know. You know what I'm talking about. Yep. That I could just. Well, that is an interesting contraption right there. Mm-hmm. Don't forget how that went together, all right? Because I'm gonna forget. That's what I do. Hide things from myself and forget things. The older I get, the less I know. Weird how that works. All right. Man, this is all right. Okay. Wrong size. All right. Now we gotta get that little dude off of there. No, that wasn't bad at all. I'm going to try to do a little better job of bringing you guys in and showing you exactly what I'm doing. So I should have done this earlier, but right here, we disconnected the fuel line coming from the fuel pump down there. This right here is a vacuum advance, wraps around and comes down to the distributor. We got that. That was under this bolt right here, and then went down and tied into the side of the carburetor right there. And then you can see this right here is the throttle linkage, and this was right in here with that spring in between. So that rod goes through here with the spring over the rod, but in between these two pieces, and that allows the throttle on the carburetor, the pedal, to twist the linkage on the carburetor. And there are two bolts down there in the bottom, and that's it, and it should come right off. There it is, guys. That's it. I don't even know what CFM this carb is. I gotta check that out, but pretty tiny, pretty small. So we'll start tearing this thing down, and hopefully the rebuild kit we got is the right one. We'll find out. Not a bad idea when you're doing something like this to go ahead and put your hardware back where it was until you come to reinstall, because if you're like me, you'll put it somewhere safe, and it's so safe you can't even find it. It happens all the time. All right, let's dig into this thing, see what's really going on. You know how I knew it was going to be a good day? I was eating breakfast this morning, just minding my own business, and my dad sends me a message, and it was an article about a 1961 AMC Metropolitan, and it's like, that's interesting. That's the same car that we have. So maybe there's something I can learn in here. Then I went ahead and opened it up. Oh, the article, just the headline that I saw in his post was, it just said, this 1961 Nash Metropolitan is not your average barn find or something like that. I've been sitting for 50 years, and I was like, huh, that is really cool that it's so similar to what we have. Open the article, and it's our car. It's this car. And the website is called autoevolution.com. And the guy that wrote the article, I do not know how to say his name. I'm not even going to try because I will screw it up. But I'll put a link to the article in the description of this video. But I thought it was a joke at first. I thought it was a joke. And, but then I realized it was not April Fool's today. It's Thanksgiving. And so there's no way it could be a joke, right? So I had to accept it, and it really blew my mind. It just blew my mind that somebody had written that article about this little car that these rednecks found in a barn. And he linked my YouTube videos and everything. I'm just super thankful for that guy and writing that article. And if you see this video, I really appreciate that. It just blew my mind. It was super cool to start my day like that. And yeah, just really cool. Like I said, I'll link the video in the description, you guys, or the article, so you guys can check it out. All right, what do we got going on here? I'm talking too much. Does this float? That float just comes. Wow. That is interesting. That float, how does that work? Somebody explain this to me. Look at the bottom of that carburetor bowl. Ew. I don't think that's right. That can't be right. Right? No. That's crazy. I mean, I imagine some varnished gas in there, but what is that? Nobody knows. There's no way to know. Science can't figure it out. All right, what's next? Is that all that comes off of this thing? Oh, that's what happens. So the the bowl goes here, and when that floats up, it shuts this. It closes this needle right there. That's it. Excellent. Perfect. Very nice. Love it. All right. Just about time to shut her down and go and shower up and get ready. But I really wanted to open this up and see what's going on. So interesting. Probably a pretty good idea to pull this thing off and, clean her up. I mean, it's only been sitting for almost half a century, so probably might have been fine, but, I was going to say it can't hurt, but I bet I can. I bet it can hurt. What does that do? That holds that in there. I'm sure all the Metropolitan guys are watching these videos going, oh, you dummy. What is wrong with you? It's so obvious how this works, That's stuck in there. I don't want to damage it. But hey, if you don't know, you don't know. It's only one way to find out. And this right here must be the accelerator pump, right? Does that make sense? Because that goes right down and pushes down on that. But that thing is not moving. It's kind of froze in there. Hopefully we can get that out of there. We're gonna, one way or another. Maybe that's why I didn't want to run very good. Oh, just broke it free. Just broke it free. That's awesome. Very nice. Well, that's probably going to help. Oh, that's rusted up. That's dirty. All right. I got to stop. I don't want to stop, but I got to stop. And go eat some turkey. Maybe some ham. Hopefully there's mashed potatoes. One of my favorite things, absolute favorite things, is going through the comments and seeing where everybody is watching from. So cool. Australia, Holland, just all over the place. It's really cool. And then all the stories of people telling how they first saw a Met, and a lot of people learned to drive in them with a 3 on the tree, and just super cool. I love that stuff. Keep it up. These screws are different, and I don't know which one goes where. Does it matter? I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. That go all the way through. Let's see. Let's get into this. There's a gasket, a float. I'm just gonna, I hope this is the right kit. This spring already looks quite a bit shorter. We'll figure it out. Really, I could probably reuse most of the stuff that's in here. If I can keep track of what goes where. I'm getting fluid through all the passages and everything. So, seems to be cleaning up well. Is there a new... Had to put the coveralls on today. It's a little chilly. Had to light the fireplace for the first time last night too. Winter is here, I think. I'm going to run this through the parts washer and get it cleaned up as good as I can, and then we'll move on to the rest. Cleaned up pretty good. Inside it's not perfect, but all the loose stuff is gone. Looks much, much better. My great-grandpa, I was lucky enough to know him really well. And as a teenager, I spent a lot of time with him. But he told me, any man that does not carry a knife and a pliers with him at all times is a fool. Right here. Well, there it is. Turned out okay. Well, guys, I was tinkering around and without you. Sorry about that. And, I was just curious. Stuck my camera down the gas filler tube, the gas tank. There was gas in there, and it smelled bad. So went ahead and drained that out. I don't know how old that is. Somebody was messing with the car, obviously, so I don't think it's as old as, as long as the car sat. I don't think it was that gas. It would have evaporated anyway, I believe. Anyway, it was bad. So I dumped some fresh gas in it, pulled the cap off the fuel pump, put some gas in it, let it sit for a while, and it was bringing up air bubbles from the line from the tank. I don't know if it's going to pull gas from the tank or not, but the fuel pump looks pretty good inside. And when I had it full, I was able to hand pump the fuel pump and get fuel up through the line. So filled the fuel pump up, and at least we'll have that much gas. But I want to see what this thing does now. So let's see what happens. Oh yeah, it wants to run. Check that out. Oh man. Yes. That's awesome. I wonder if it's pulling gas from the tank, or if we're still running. This thing don't take much gas. Pretty fuel efficient, so I don't know if we're pulling from the tank or not. I think we ran out of gas. And, well, let me open that fuel pump up again. Yeah. I think I don't know, there's a little fuel in there yet. And the fuel pump pumps. I don't know if it's pumping as good as it should, but it is pumping. I just don't know if why we're not, well, probably the pickup tube in the tank is plugged. And the way these fuel lines are, there's not a good way to blow air backwards through this system. I don't want to do it through the pump and screw the pump up. And I mean, it's all hard lines except for this one, but it's not, I can't get an airline on that. Might have to drop the tank and, well, I don't know if we can even get to the pickup tube. I don't know how that works on these. Somebody mentioned in the comments that these cars like a lot of choke, and that is no joke. I had that choke completely closed to get that thing running. But all right, well, I guess we got to move on and see what we can figure out to get fuel from the tank to the pump. That's our issue right now. I was able to get a fuel line disconnected right here down by the frame, and I'm going to try compressed air again from this point to the tank. There was some fuel in there, but I don't know if it's from us putting it in from this end or coming from the tank. It was leaking a little bit, and then it just stopped. So see what we can do here. That thing is completely plugged. 100%. 100% plugged. All right. Down there, you can see the fuel line that I have disconnected. Tried blowing back into the tank, and I just cannot get air from here into the tank. So, jack the back of the car up, and I'm going to see. Should have grabbed the light. But up on top of the tank, can you see it from here? No, not really. There's a connection right before it goes into the tank. I'm going to pull that apart and see if that'll do anything. I'm not sure if I drop the tank, if I can pull that pickup tube out of there or not, if I can even get to it. So, and I'd rather not drop the tank, but if I have to, I will. So I'm going to disconnect that, try some air right there at the tank, and see what we get. Maybe it's the line that's plugged. I don't know. I doubt it. It's probably the pickup tube. All right. I disconnected the tank. I cannot get air past that pickup tube. So it looks like we're dropping the tank. Couple bolts back here and the strap should drop down. And I think we can pull this thing right out of here, I'm hoping. If we can get these bolts loosed. Guess I could get a ratchet. That'd be easier. Maybe. We got to watch out for the fuel sending unit wire that's up in there. Looks like it has some slack, but probably not enough. All right, how much fun is this going to be? This could probably go bad or really bad. One of those two. Okay, what's going on? Ooh. Okay. Easy. Easy. Does that clip on there or what? Oh, the filler hose. How do you disconnect that? Is it in the trunk? I don't know how that works. There it is right there. That goes straight through. Probably would have been more fun to do this before I put 5 gallons of gas in the tank. But, you know. Okay. Guess that'll just slip down. Hopefully. Easy. Yep, it's coming. That whole thing? That's crazy. Oh, maybe that pickup tube will come out. Maybe. I don't think that pickup tube comes out. How are we going to clear that? All right. So what we got here is, this is a pickup tube, but there's a cap on this. You can access it, which would be the fuel level gauge, the fuel gauge. Maybe if we open that up, well, I'm going to look at the service manual, and then that'll probably tell me, but we may have to open this cover up and access it from there. Surprisingly, the service manual does not tell me what's going on here. It just says that the fuel tank is connected to the fuel line by a coiled fuel line to allow for flex. Okay, the camera went dead on me, but here's what we got. Pulled out the pickup tube. I soaked it overnight in the parts washer, hoping to break it free. Couldn't break it free. The screen was starting to separate from where it attaches to the tube anyway, and I can get a replacement one of these. You can get this whole replacement piece if you need to, but you can get just the screen also. But the problem was not the screen. It cleaned up fairly well. It would have worked. The problem is that tube completely, totally plugged. So I got to get that unclogged, make sure the tube is still good, and then I want to pull the sending unit out, verify that that works, and then I got to order some parts. Either way, at the very least, I got to order a new screen and see how that attaches to the tube, see if I can figure that out. But I got to order those parts, and so that's going to take a bit to get that and get that ready to go. So I'll probably do that in a future video, maybe the next video. In the meantime, I'm going to rig up a temporary tank and plumb that into the fuel pump on the car and use that temporarily and get this thing running. And we'll go from there. All right. I pulled the fuel line apart down in here earlier, and so I'm going to plumb this line. I'm going to tie this fuel line right into that. That goes right to the fuel pump, and I'm just going to use a plastic jug for now and make sure the fuel pump works, and this thing will run, and we'll move on from there. Change the oil, check compression. Doing this a little backwards, probably should have checked compression first, but I'm a daredevil. I'll just dive in and go for it then. See if we can get the thing to run with a minimal amount of work. I love to do that. That's so interesting to me, and it's cool to see old cars run with just a little bit of work. All right, let's get this tied in. Watch this. You like that, huh? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. I am opting to keep this car as original as possible, and so I just ordered a new oil filter element uh, for the oil filter, and I'm not sure how. Yep, that's what I thought. That's got a bolt on the bottom of it, and so I got to get a wrench on that. What is that? Maybe 5/8, 3/4, something like that. Should probably get the oil bucket under the car first. And get the car jacked up. There's the drain hole. All right. Can't see very well. There's the old oil. It's still got some slick to it, you know, but it's black. It's dirty. The oil pan drain bolt is a 3/4, and this one is a 5/8. FYI, in case you wanted to know. It's kind of inconvenient spot here. Could probably get a socket on it from the bottom, but that'd be too easy. Oh, I think we got it. It's going to be a blast to put back on. I can't wait. Oh, she's a draining. The bucket in the right spot. Close enough. Is that thing spring loaded? There it is. Oh, that's dirty. That's a dirty one. All right, cool. Well, so right here is where the oil filter housing bolts up to. And there's an adapter here that bolts to the engine. I need to take this bolt out of here so I can get that adapter off and make sure that everything's good there on both sides. So I'm going to attempt to do that. All right, we got the big dog out today. Let's see what happens here. All right. There it is. I was hoping it would go that easy, and it did. So that's cool. All right. Looks like there is an O-ring in there, but it's all shifted to the side and was not sealing up very well. That's what I was afraid of, so good thing we pulled that off. Now I gotta see if I can get to the block and see if there's a O-ring in there. There is, if I can get it out to replace it. Well, as I suspected, there was a gasket on the bottom side or an O-ring, but it was pretty screwed up. It was pushed off to the side. I don't think it was sealing really well. And then the engine needs another O-ring on the top side of this thing, and there was nothing there. So we're going to fix that. See if we can get this thing back together. All right. I was able to get the O-rings in there and get the filter bolted back up. I'll be honest with you. I would rather drop the tank on this car, the gas tank, than change the oil. That's how much of a pain that is. I do need to get one of the rubber boots for this dipstick, but I'll have to order that. I think we are ready. Well, let me make sure the drain bolt is tight, you know. Let's check that first. So if you ask people that own these cars what kind of oil to run in them, you will get 5 to 10 different answers. So it's winter time, and so I'm going to run what I got here. Some Rotella T4 1540. I'm going to run that. When do you guys know how many quarts of oil go in this car? Can you let me know? All right. I'll just pour it in until it comes out, I guess. I have been running this Lucas heavy-duty oil stabilizer in all of my engines for years. Big fan of this stuff. Looks like it might take 4 quarts. I think it's going to be close. But the oil filter needs to fill up too yet. So maybe a little more than 4 quarts. Yeah, I think so. Pretty close there with 4 quarts, but we got to fill up the oil filter yet. And that is right on the high mark right there. How much does the oil filter take? 1/4 of a quart? Half a quart? Can't take that much. None of it's running out yet. I think that might be pretty close right there. Say maybe 4.5 quarts. 4 3/4. All right. Now what? Now what are we gonna do? So there's the fuel pump. There's a line that comes into the fuel pump, runs around down across the frame in the front where I separated it earlier, and I just tied a fuel line right onto that. And then I got my trusty gas tank right here, and this will be a cold start, but I'm going to try it again now that we've changed the oil, and see what it does. How about that? It's a runner. We are puking oil. Bad. Jeez. All right, dudes and dudettes. Got the oil changed on this thing. Those O-rings, gaskets, are really frustrating me. I think I'm supposed to have 2 of the same type. So I still have a small leak, very minor leak. I tried a different O-ring that I had, and it's sealing better than the old one was, but it's still not perfect. So I'm going to see if I can pick up another O-ring like the one new one I used. But we made headway in this video. The car runs really well right now. Still smoking a little bit, but I think it's still burning off that oil that I put down the cylinders originally in the beginning. But pretty happy with the progress here. Next video, I've got to get some parts for the tank, the gas tank, get those in, get the gas tank back in so we can use that, and then move on to some other parts of the car. But check this out. Let's see what kind of progress we actually made. Watch this. Just fires right up. Sounds great too. We got a pretty decent exhaust leak. The tailpipe is not exactly connected to the muffler. It's just slipped on there, but I mean, it's running pretty smooth and it fires right up every time now. So super happy with that. Very cool. One step closer to driving this thing. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to shut her down right here, and I got to get this video posted. It's been too long since I posted a video. This one will be a little longer, so hopefully you guys enjoy it, and come back for more videos. If you like what you see, and you want to subscribe and see future videos, that would be super cool. I would really appreciate that. Appreciate you guys watching, coming along for the ride. We'll see you in the next one.